Wrestling is trash. Wrestling is trash.
Ooh, bam. And here we are. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 156. I want to make sure I got that right because last week I said 156 when it was actually 155. So, welcome to episode 156 of your favorite podcaster's wrestling podcast, Wrestling is Trash. Once again, it is Trash Tuesday. And myself and Mr. Anaselli have come to you to talk all things wrestling. So I think it would be fitting before we go into all the silliness and introducing ourselves and all that bullshit is that we kind of show and pay a little bit of respect for some people that we lost this week. Kind of want to get the somberness out of the way because even though it's been a couple days, and we're definitely, I don't want to say better, but like we're a little more. We've taken it in, pause a little better than we did when it actually happened. So, as we all know, last week we lost we lost Terry Funk, we lost Bray Wyatt, and we actually lost WWE Hall of Famer this week, Mr. Bob Barker, host of The Price is Right, who is a WWE alumni. So that's why we're bringing him up on this show. But I'll just real quick say a couple things, and then Nick, you can take over however you'd like. Terry Funk was like just the fucking greatest. Like he was the greatest. He was, and I don't mean like the greatest of all time or any of that. Everybody loves to put titles on people and the greatest this and that and the best this and that. I mean like just as a person, as a character, as a performer, as somebody who gave it all to wrestling. He was just the greatest. The way he put his body on the line to entertain people, his promo work, which I've been watching a bunch of old Terry Funk promos and Terry Funk videos. And I think my favorite one is when he slaps Paul Heyman in the mouth for talking about his daughter. That was just fantastic. It was like some grown man talking to a child type shit. But he passed away at 73 years old. He had a very long life. He changed a lot of things in wrestling. He's influenced a lot of people, all these deathmatch people and all these hardcore people that you see today. None of them would really be here without a Terry Funk, at least not in the way that they're here now. So just wanted to kind of pay my respects in that way to that man because he's just awesome. And then there's Bray Wyatt, who unexpectedly passed away at age 36. And that was really fucking like sad to hear. Like it fucking really bummed me out. Nick sent me that message. I had no idea what was going on. I had to go look it up. And it really bummed me out, man. And saying that, I don't want it to sound like comical or anything because it's not funny. And I don't want to speculate on the hows and the whys and the things, how he passed away. That's not my business. I'm not going to sit here and listen to speculation and all that. But just, whether you liked Bray Wyatt, the character, or The Fiend, or, any of the incarnations that he did, whether you like that stuff or not, that guy was a creative genius. And he had a way of reinventing himself that I don't think anyone has done in the business. Maybe a Jericho, but even with Jericho, it's like he's just other versions of Chris Jericho, where Bray Wyatt was Husky Harris, and then he was Bray Wyatt, the cult leader, And then from that, we got The Fiend. And then he came back with this kind of reinvigorated version of like the real Bray Wyatt. And then you had Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt. I mean, someone that, just gifted, it's very sad to see them go more, and especially so young. Like, the guy had so much more to give, and you know as far as wrestling is concerned, and again, he has children, he leaves behind his wife. Like, it's just fucking terrible that this had to happen, and I was super bummed out about it. Very sad, and just wanted to pay respects to him. And Bob Barker, what can you say about Bob Barker, man? Lived till a ripe old age of 99 years old. Did a lot of things. Did a lot of animal preservation, which I didn't even really know about. So just rest in peace to all of them. Rest in peace to Bob Barker. Just, I hope everyone is in a better place, and that their families in this time can find peace with everything that's happened. So uh, that's about everything I got for that, Nick.
Yeah. About when he was ago. I remember, like, the common thing with me is school sick. I'd hang out with my grandmother. So, like, everyone, no matter what age you like, watch that. Bob Barker looks great. By the age of 99. Best. Just he just the heart of houses and stuff together. How all his promos, like, it was great. And it gets like great too. In my opinion, man, 74 in a way. I thought did not. I guess people from my age group, and obviously maybe don't know him as much unless you're someone like. Yeah, you feel terrible about that, and then Bray, I could go on forever. He was personally one of and I need those again. I found out was I have a text with my buddies back home. We don't talk it often, but was my opinion, like, in South Sea, comical way. I thought maybe if for some released or some that came out about him or something, or I feel like, yo, I went Twitter because people out there that like hijack people's accounts and post things. And then when you just found out, it hit me because 6 years old. I think he was engaged to be married. I don't know if they were. Yeah, he had 4 kids with her. Previously, always hold us special. One thing, so he when I introduced her, like, has that love. Most, and I'm not trying to say, when you introduce like a female who has no idea what wrestling is, they're like, oh my god, it's Roman Reigns, it's Randy Orton. It was instantly like, this is
Hmm.
Like, this is who you're into, like, of all people, like, you know what I mean? And then obviously last Sunday morning, the plane, obviously he was sick and all of that, but I put the Fiend entrance, like, when I first doing 2009, insane. Just so young. The whole family, his family, family. We could probably go on and on and on. Go all on. Everything, like I said, I'm gonna give it a few episodes, mainly SmackDown. Like you were saying, so it wasn't consistently sad. They did a lot of good tributes. It's that spotlighted. They do credit on this with optional. Very well.
Oh, okay.
Because relation to this, he knows Antonio's and nothing doing that. I think it's really awesome.
That's cool. I didn't even hear about that.
So I think I've won today. I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah, man. I mean, what else can you say, man? It's unfortunate when these things happen, but unfortunately, death is a part of life. It's one of the, it's one of those things we can't get away from. It is what it is. So, but just the fact that, especially in Bray's case, you just pass away so young and unexpectedly, man, it sucks. It really sucks because the poor guy was struggling with a health issue and it just, unfortunately, it got the best of him. So, but, again, we will always have the memories. We'll always have our favorite moments with these guys. And, you can always go find them, go fall down the YouTube rabbit hole and watch your favorite videos, whether it's Chainsaw Charlie and Mick Foley versus DX, where they throw him in the trash can and he's got the chainsaw, or you got your Bray Wyatt's, like you mentioned, the SummerSlam debut. That was crazy. That match with Finn Balor from beginning to end was like a masterpiece. Like the way they debuted the Fiend character after all those weeks of teasing it, and then they finally debut him with the music and the lantern and just the crowd chanting. That was awesome. At the end was the icing on the cake. They really knocked it out of the park with that. So we'll always have those memories. But Nick, I say we start our show, and I will start by reintroducing myself. I am, of course, Lou from the VX Trash Boy #1, co-host of Wrestling is Trash, and we're coming to you on another Trash Tuesday here to talk all the wrestles. We're going to be going over some things today. We got a lot to talk about, and we're already on the way there. So I pass it to you, my friend, to do your introductions.
Yeah, again, so not much to say. Well, not say, and I would like to really put it down. We're probably going to be talking about credits, round of all the positive work AEW for pulling this week, which the largest, and the show. So before we get, it's going to seem negative when we're not negative. Is we're both big fans of it. That was friggin' awesome. Congratulations congratulations to them. Dope going back here, because this is going to keep thriving, you know. And Jay said it himself, just in a great place right now. Fan room. Yeah, just I have to get
That is true.
off, just everything, presentation, even the stage was crazy. The stage set up, I thought it was, I saw them this thing.
Yeah.
Just, you know, just I enjoyed the whole process. That way for them. It's when we on the negative side of things. Well, not all the time. Negative side of things. I had to get the kudos and all that. It was
Yeah, can we do that? Can we show some love to this pay-per-view, which I thought was a fucking fantastic pay-per-view? I really, again, AEW, they've yet to disappoint me pay-per-view wise. Every show has just the production and the match quality for me is just fantastic. And they really do some unexpected things that I wasn't, I wasn't really thinking they were gonna do. I was actually surprised at the lack of surprises. Like I thought we were gonna have a couple, special appearances, maybe like a Thunder Rosa or a Jamie Hayter. I know that she's injured, but there's been rumors out there of some of these women being around. I know Thunder Rosa was there because I saw a picture of her training or whatever with some people. So I know she was there, but I guess she's not totally ready to come out yet. But just, kudos to AEW, kudos to the whole locker room and to Tony Khan for having as he said in the scrum, the largest paid gate in pro wrestling history. That's a big deal, whether people want to believe it or not.
It's a mess.
Now, whether or not WWE smashes that at some point, which they probably can and will do, is fine. And that's cool. But right now, it's kudos to this brand new company, 5 years old, I think, just about 5 years old. For them to have that under their belt it's pretty awesome. So just kudos to them before we get into all this douchebaggery that's been happening around it.
Now, for all the for like, I bet you, well, maybe I'm 60, 70. They could get WrestleMania. Like, just because. Yes.
Yeah, it would. I mean, I don't know if I'm there with you on that. I'm not totally like if it would depend on where they go. Like if they go to like where maybe like
Chicago.
Soldier Field. Immediately we both go to Chicago. Immediately. Like maybe Soldier Field, or let's pick another football stadium. Like
Tony's got to take that gamble. That's
perfect. Yeah, but I that's why I didn't mention Miami Arena, because I honestly don't feel like the Florida people would come out in that amount. He'll probably get like 30K in there if he did that. But then again, it also depends. It has to be like a fucking gigantic show that they really like. What they need to do is to, like, if they want to do something like that, they have to do it like where they go over there for the week, wherever it is, and they do like a whole fucking thing. They take over the city, and it's AEW everywhere. They're putting up like banners. Yeah, they have events. That whole weekend is like, I don't know, Revolution weekend or All In weekend, whatever. They have to do like a whole thing. They got to have the buses. They got to do it all, because you need to have that, it has to be a spectacle. You can't just be like, all right, we're having our pay-per-view here and we're going to this stadium and this is the card. Nah, you got to really get behind it. I think if they do that, they'd get close. But
do you think they run similar numbers next year at Wembley?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think they're going to get about the same. It could be a little more. It could be a little. I mean, they basically. So what he was saying was that paid ticket wise, people asses in seats, they had the number that they announced, which was, I don't remember, like 81,000, something like that, right? So that was people who bought their tickets and showed up. But they had about 90,000 people in the stadium between comp tickets, wrestlers having family there, and other ticket kind of stuff, but they didn't count that as far as like the gate, because they literally just counted the gate. And it's truthful. It's not like, when you have, and again, not to keep comparing, but when you have like a fucking WrestleMania or something, and they're like, today's attendance is 109,000 people. I'm like, really? You got 109,000 people in this fucking 97,000 arena? Okay,
Yeah.
WWE, cool. Because they tend to do that shit a lot, and it's it's cool that he actually gave the actual number. It's like, I appreciate that shit. That's cool. It's good to know. Because he could have inflated it. He could have given any number. You know what I mean? He could have been like, yeah, we got 95,000 people up in this bitch. And what are you going to go back and count the tickets? Who's to know? You know what I mean? So I appreciate the honesty, man. And it's a great accomplishment. So shout out to them, man. It's very cool. Well, so do you want to go into this news, or do you want to just talk about the show itself first and then the news, or because I could go either way? Cool. Yeah, so again, really enjoyed the show, but what I do want to say about the show is that Tony Khan, who I know watches this show, you need to make a deal with someone else, anyone else. I don't care who it is. I don't know who it could be. You might want to get in touch with the people at Fight, since you already have a relationship with the Fight app overseas, and all these other people in other countries can use the Fight app and pay for their AEW pay-per-views, and they stream beautifully. I use the Fight app for other things like Warrior Wrestling and GCW shows, and that shit works, bro. I'm shocked at how well that shit works the way it does. Like, I log in from my laptop, and that shit signs in my TV. It signs my phone in. Everything's linked up. I press play. The goddamn pay-per-view starts playing. It never drops. It never cuts off. It doesn't stutter. It doesn't do any of that shit. Okay? So that Bleacher Report app fucking sucks. It is the worst. For lack of other options, paid for that show with the Bleacher Report app, and it took my money real quick. It sure did. It definitely took my money immediately, and I had access to the show on my phone, but trying to beam that shit to my TV, AirPlay was not working. I tried to, there's that little cast button. I cast it to my TV, and it connected, but every 5 or 6 seconds or so, it would freeze for like half a second. But can you imagine you're trying to watch a live fucking wrestling event, and the guys are moving and flying all over the fucking place, and the goddamn screen, it's stopping every 5 seconds? No, bro. Yeah, I can't. You're not gonna watch the show like that. So I ended up doing was watching the show on my fucking tablet. Okay, I had to download the app on my tablet, then sign into that shit and put it on there and watch it on the tablet, when I could have been watching it on my high definition TV like I wanted to. No, I had to watch it on a small ass tablet. So never again. I'm never using Bleacher Report again. I will watch the pay-per-views, but I will watch them other ways. And I'm not going to elaborate on how, but some shit's going to get figured out, because I'm never giving Bleacher Report money again. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I only use Bleacher Report once or twice. honestly gave me some sound effects. It was just a pain. It wasn't
That app sucks.
I figured the matches, we'll just
Yep.
go bots on it and with it, and it they started, in my opinion. I thought they had a great finish with they have history. Was there was really, a big deal about it. Show just productions, their first time doing something like this. Did you feel the crowd as much as you did? Wow.
Yeah, it was a little weird. They definitely were having. Yeah, they were definitely having some type of sound issue because you could see the people were losing their fucking minds. And there were some points in some matches where like it seemed like it was quiet and all of a sudden they were popping. But it was like it was weird. It's like if it was like they were cheering and then the mic had just picked it up while in the middle of them cheering and whatever, and then all of a sudden you heard it. So they were definitely having sound issues for sure.
I know, not that I but you know what I mean. But you can visually see.
Yeah, but I mean, look, bro, it's been 5 years. Like he's got to clean that shit up, bro. Tony Khan has to clean that shit up. Because like we get random weird shit on Dynamite where mics don't work and fucking like music doesn't play right. They played the wrong music for Osprey last week. Like weird shit happens.
When the came up,
yeah, like that shit shouldn't happen. Like you have sound people, all that shit should be checked before the show and to make sure that it's fucking working. Because how does it stop working during the show? Like once you test it and it's on, it's on. That's it. So it should just work. So I don't understand why they constantly have these fucking sound issues, man. It's annoying. There's one thing that's really annoying about them. I liked it a lot. I was surprised that they opened with that match. I was a little surprised they opened with that match, but I enjoyed it very much. Anytime I get to see Samoa Joe wrestling, I think it's great. I think it was super physical. And I like the fact that they went with the Pepsi plunge for the finish off the top rope because it kind of protects Joe. You know what I mean? Instead of hitting him with a GTS.
Well, we saw that last one.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm sure that they'd be able to kind of figure out how to make that look good because the GTS is a good finisher when you like hit it right. But doing the Pepsi plunge off the top, I think was great because it protects Joe in the end. And it's just something that Punk takes out of his back pocket that he hasn't done in a while. So I enjoyed it very much. I really liked how Joe walked away from Punk on the outside when he did his he tried to do his dive and shit. And then he ends up putting him through the announce table, which was great. And Punk, I enjoyed Punk in this match. I said last week that I feel like he's been a little sloppy and like he's been a little timid and like a little off or whatever. And in this match, he was good. He looked crisp. He looked like he was having fun, channeling John Cena and then channeling Hulk Hogan, having fun with the crowd. I feel like he had a good time, even though apparently something happened right before the match. But I enjoyed it very much. I thought it was a good match.
Yeah. And about all when match and not that like I'm trying to think like when I went through this been on WrestleMania stage was like Punk Soraya that get Christian and Jericho was the only one really been in that stage. So for a lot of the other ones, that was the first, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Next we had a very good match, but in my opinion, it lose as well. Very shitty. Bullet Club Gold and defeated Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
So we gave our thoughts last week how it was going to match for both me and one of their guys. One now following the match at all on that a zillion times. I was very, very good. Physical spots in it. The reason I'm doing this is because we're both very blue our eyes, our big roll up. And honestly, time plays things like that, right? But like in this with everything on, just was.
Yeah, man. It just, one thing I always say about like when I watch WWE or whatever is like, I fucking hate these DQ endings. Like, I fucking hate them, especially on pay-per-views. Like, you should not be having disqualification endings on pay-per-views, bro. I hate that shit. Not that this was a disqualification, but to have the build that they had for this match with everything going on with Don Callis and Kenny Omega and Takeshita and, the way Bullet Club Gold has been carrying on, like, for them to, and because it seemed like when they did the roll up, I was like, wait, what? Because it seemed like the match was just about to like get going, like when they did that.
And it was getting going.
Yeah, like Kenny hit that fucking knee, and I was like, oh shit, here we go. He's about to get busy. And then like all of a sudden the match was over. And I'm like, wait, like, what the fuck? Why would you, like, if you're gonna pin Kenny Omega, at least do something where like he gets hit with like a couple finishers and then Takeshita's the one who gets the pin. Because now they're like, oh, Takeshita pinned Kenny Omega and he beat him and blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, but like that fucking roll-up shit, it's like, I don't know. It just kind of like was deflating because you wanted to see like a finish. And you get like a schoolboy. You know what I mean? Like in a match like that, like it doesn't, for me, it doesn't make sense.
And you play take an extra one.
Yeah.
But good like to hear the soccer fucking
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite themes. And
Hell yeah.
But I don't know. But I will say I'm excited to see where it goes. Next, we hit down a and no surprise fashion, right?
Yeah.
I've started the AEW tag titles all weeks. I'm saying that's right. If I just had this tag match, but the WWE, so in the ring, there's going to be a AEW. These it's going to slap every time, whether it's on Dynamite, whether Dark was the thing. Going to have a great. Love that for them. Yeah, I thought it was cool. Just not a big fan of Conley finisher. Right? But where I was like, all right, 1, 2, 3, like kick out. I love that thought. Same night.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, well, yeah, death. Machine one time, I was like, oh,
yeah, that's it.
And then when the box, I think one hit the super kick. Yep. Because I think it was the box kicked the Trashians.
Yeah.
Out the box, to be honest. And I was like, okay, yeah, I knew it because when they kicked that to the finisher, like, oh my, I don't know where this but it was a great match. I easily won match.
Yeah, you know what's funny? You know what I love about Young Bucks matches is that they start off and the crowd is like, the crowd gets hyped for their entrance, and they come to the ring, they do their stuff, they do their whole posing and all the bullshit, and then the crowd kind of is like, all right, here we go, and they just kind of sit, and it's like they're just watching the match, and then there's some spots here and there, but then there's always a point in the match where like all of a sudden the crowd's going fucking crazy. Like the crowd's just going crazy. And then like from that point to the end of the match, it's just like high spot, high spot, high spot, high spot. Like it's just, it's funny because they always, like, when the match started, I was just kind of like there, but not really. I was like excited to see it, but I wasn't like super hyped, but I was watching it. But then like as it got towards the middle, I was like glued to the screen. Like totally glued to the screen, like super excited about everything going on. Like I was totally hyped. So enjoyed the match very much. Was a little surprised about the finish. I thought that we were going to see a title change. But it's cool that FTR retains because they can just continue to build their legacy and everything. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do next, seeing as how one of the more popular tag teams in this company is now trios champions, but we can get into that later. So I'm curious to see how they're going to continue this because I don't know who else is out there. Maybe Aussie Open. Maybe they can bring the Gates of Agony out of Ring of Honor and bring them up to their House of Black too. You could do that. But I really want to see like, well, I mean, we're talking about House of Black. I guess we can just kind of move on because we pretty much both love this match. So,
Best and group on the stadium. I liked one and because this is technically second stadium. It was this
Anarchy in the Arena, though. Yeah.
I liked that, but
yeah,
do it for me. The other one, get me wrong, but
right.
I don't know. Texas being it live, I'm a sucker for them just playing throughout the match. I felt that was a miss. I tell you why, but music with any still some spots. I forgot who was there and trying someone to do a table miss. Who was that?
That was Pento, Scuro, and Santana.
Yeah, so scary. Like not like oh my god, they fucked up.
What was funny about that was that Penta came out, he did a clothes change, and then they went up there to do that spot and the ladder broke. And you would think that they'd be like, oh, fuck it, the ladder broke. Let's think of something else. But they were like, nah, we're climbing the ladder and we're doing this fucking spot. And they did it.
And then I'm on the card too.
Yeah.
Actually, man, that'll never sit right with me. That dude just head. Which I thought
yeah, he's crazy. I don't know, bro. They came out with a bunch of rules and things that you can and can't do anymore. And I don't think skewers was on the list. But like, who would put that on the list? Like, who would think, hey, let me get some fucking barbecue skewers and stab myself in the head with these? Like, who would think of that?
He's mad. Hayden Clark always amazing.
The one thing I was a little disappointed with Eddie was that he cut that promo on Collision where he kisses the camera or whatever, and he tells Claudio, he's like, I'm gonna burn you. I'm gonna burn you. So I thought he was gonna come out with like the gasoline can again. You know what I mean? I thought he was gonna do something fire related, but they didn't do anything like that. I was waiting for that shit, but it didn't happen. But still.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. So, am I wrong? I feel like
no. I mean, look. I mean, I enjoyed the match very much. I thought it was super fun, and it was a big, ridiculous fun. But like when I think of Stadium Stampede, the one memory that I have that I always think of when I think of Stadium Stampede is fucking Sammy Guevara running away from the golf cart. Like that. That's the Stadium Stampede because they do crazy shit. Like it's like a video game. Like they're using golf carts, they're jumping off of fucking balconies and throwing people downstairs, and
they fought in the pool.
Yeah, they're drowning Matt Hardy, and he's turning into different versions of Matt Hardy and shit. Like that's the Stadium Stampede. Like they should have just said this was going to be an Anarchy in the Arena match instead of saying it was a Stadium Stampede. That way, it would have been like, okay, they're just going to be in the stadium and they're going to have a big street fight, and that's fine. Because for me, Stadium Stampede is something different. That's like a special. You're running across the field and you're fucking doing all types of crazy shit with things you shouldn't be using in a wrestling match. So they probably could have, just said it was Anarchy in the Arena. But I think they did it this way because they just had an Anarchy in the Arena match. So they probably just wanted to say, hey, we're having Stadium Stampede. So they just said add something different to the card. That's probably why they did it. But again, I enjoyed the match. I thought it was a lot of fun. I did.
And I always say it again, when this match is going to be biased, I went one person.
Yeah.
From any hard, you know what I mean? Yeah. I hate something
right. Of
me,
course.
but
yeah.
Next week, the AEW champion. I'm going to take on after this. But Sarah in her home, very cool entrance. The whole family out there. This obviously, if you were betting man wanted to win something, this was the match bet.
Yeah.
So, the match was whatever. Anything. 10 minutes. They went
8 minutes and 50 seconds.
Okay, so
they didn't even go 10 minutes.
So because as of late, it seems there too. A lot of people like get with women, and me sound like I will say a lot more than Gage.
Yeah.
Even out loud.
She wasn't even in England. She wasn't even in England. She wasn't even there.
Your thoughts? Like what we're going into, but then also Mercedes Moné was in the tank. We can't not up. She was clear
with her fine self.
Yeah. So it's kind of she's going to appear in AEW. At this point, WWE don't believe it. It's happening, and I think that's cool. Even if this is like
right.
I want to see Mercedes. On the match and that.
So I didn't hate this match, as much as you would expect. I thought the match was entertaining. some of the standout stuff for me was obviously Soraya being there, her mom being there. Her mom is a badass. Like, for those of you who don't know, her mom, her mom gets it in. Like, she's a hardcore wrestler. She's not fucking around. And the fact that they had the family included, the fact that she came out to "We Will Rock You," bro. Tony is not shy about spending royalty money, boy. He will spend some money on some songs. But that was pretty cool how they did that. Toni Storm, new entrance, her new look, her new whatever it is that she's doing. I fucking love it. I love her backstage promos that she's been doing every week. I love the starlet gimmick that she's doing. I love her outfit. Juice Robinson, boy, I must dap you up on that one. God bless you, my boy. And I like her ring music. It's like her ring music's like some 1920s like Hollywood starlet shit. Like it's hilarious. It's great. I love it a lot. Hikaru Shida's wonderful. She's fantastic. I kind of feel bad that Shida's just the best. I really don't understand why they did the title change with Shida and then ended up pinning Toni Storm anyway on the show.
To me, but I don't mind it because she did walk in to a big show as champion and had another reign. Very short reign, but still has another reign on her.
So she posted something about she's thinking about retiring after this match. I really hope she's just like she's kayfabing it up, because I'd hate to see her retire at this point. Because I love Shida. And again, so I am not, I don't hate Soraya. I'm not one of these people that hate Soraya. I was a big fan of hers when she was in WWE. And I understand like why they did what they did. Like, dude, if you didn't think at some point she was gonna hold the fucking championship, like you're fooling yourself. Like, she's one of the biggest stars in women's wrestling. Like, there's no doubt about that. She's a gigantic star. So at some point she was gonna be champion. So why not do it here and have this big gigantic moment for her and the fans and the people who love her and her family? Like, it was in her home country. Like, it makes sense. You know what I mean? It's just business. So again, I didn't hate the match. I could have used a couple more minutes. It would have been nice if they would have at least gotten 10 minutes, 12 minutes or something, so they could showcase themselves, because they tried to squeeze a lot of shit in there in those 8 minutes. But because even the end was kind of wonky, because they were trying to do like a Britt Baker's doing her submission while Soraya hits, well, I don't know what she calls it now, but it used to be called the Rampage, her finisher, which is a dope ass finisher. Actually, it's like an inverted like DDT looking. It's dope. So again,
I like the finish, to be honest. With her pin, I like that. We fought before. That's a good spot.
Yeah, I don't think as far as how they wanted it to come across, I don't think the camera and the announcers were like in the right place to you kind of understand what I'm saying? Like they kind of just were like, oh, it's over. Like they weren't playing up like the fact that Britt Baker had a finisher on, and it was. But again, these are little nitpicks or whatever. It's a live show, so things like that are going to happen. But again, I'm not mad. I'm not. I know,
Jay here on comment.
Yeah, he was bugging. Like, he was saying some stuff throughout the whole night. Like, he was like saying stupid shit. Like, is Freddie Mercury here? It's like, fam, Freddie Mercury's been dead for like 35 years, bro. Like, what are you on, bro? Like,
I think good old G. He's
of course.
But,
yeah, he was bugging a little bit. Like, I get why he's there, but that doesn't mean that you could just go there and just start spitting nonsense. Call the match, bro. You know what I mean? But
yeah, and
what are you gonna do?
next we have Trashians, the acclaimed Billy Daddy Ass, or the new AEW trio. I'm a fan of it, but I'm also a huge fan of the House of Black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not, you know, not with those titles. Like, they did, but they didn't. I really enjoyed the, the acclaimed in the crowd.
When did they win those? They won those. Who did they beat? Death Triangle. They beat Death Triangle. Damn, when the fuck was that? I don't remember. It's been a little bit. It might have been. I don't really remember. But like, I'm not mad at them losing. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, at some point, everyone's gonna lose. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not gonna hold it. Yeah, of course. No, I get that. And they're not gonna hold the titles forever. They're not, they're not gonna be forever champions. Eventually, someone's gonna take the title off of them. And I think this is fine for the reasons that you want to keep the Acclaim hot as possible. And right now, they're not going to be going in there and beating FTR. They're just not going to do that. So I think it's fine that they have a run with the trios titles for a bit. It doesn't have to be too long or whatever. But I don't want it to be like a transition thing either. Like, they should have quite a few title defenses and get into like a feud with somebody over these things. As long as it's not like Darius Martin and the trios that you keep seeing every week on Ring of Honor. It's like every week on Ring of Honor, it's like, oh, here's a trios match. Oh, guess who it is? It's Darius Martin and the other guys and Action Andretti, and then it's like, come on, bro. Like, they lose every week and they're still getting all these matches. So it's like, as long as it's not like them over and over again, I'm fine.
These titles better be Acclaimed, for sure. Can deny that.
Time.
Yeah,
and that video that they did was fire. That video was fire. That video they did, that shit was dope.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any of their other stuff? Have you ever seen their other videos that they have on YouTube, like the Buckshot song they did against the Young Bucks? The one they did about Dark Order. Oh my god, you gotta watch those, bro. There's a video about they did one when they were beefing with Dark Order. This was obviously a long time ago. And they would record these like music videos. And they did what's the name of that fucking song? They did a song about Dark Order. And bro, I used to fucking play that shit all the time, and I can't remember it now. I used to sing along to that shit all the time, and I can't remember it, bro, because he has some fire lines in there. But the videos are hilarious. They do they're hilarious. The videos are just they're funny as shit. They had this guy dressed up as -1. What's his name? The guy that's in La Facción and on Gobernables now. The Preston 10 Vance. They had a guy dressed up as him. He was like skinny as shit, and then he drank the Dark Order juice, and he gets all diesel, and it's just fucking, it's silly and it's hilarious. So I'm glad to see them going back to making those videos because they're very fucking good at that.
I thought it was dope how the lantern.
Oh man, yeah, that was so cool. That was dope, bro.
It was one thing.
And their outfits. Their outfits were fucking phenomenal. Yeah.
Just with their.
What I was saying earlier was that I'm hoping that what I would like to see is Malachi get the TNT title and the House of Black go after the tag team titles. Like, I would like to see that. I would really like to see that because Malachi, as much as I love that, as much as I love that group as a trio, man, I want to see Malachi Black wrestling singles matches and being involved in singles feuds, bro. Like, I want to see that. I want to see him versus Kenny Omega. I want to see him versus Swerve. I want to see him go against Christian and Darby and these. Like, I would love for Darby to beat Luchasaurus and then go right into a feud with fucking Malachi Black for the TNT title. Like that.
Yeah.
That's where they should be going.
Even Jericho. I want to see him with Jericho.
Yeah.
The coffee match. The coffin match.
The Starbucks coffee match. Brought to you by Starbucks Coffee.
On the coffin
The Mountain match.
Off shit.
Yo, Sting was funny, bro. Sting goes to do the table spot and the table doesn't break, and he's like, no, fuck that. I'm climbing right back up here, and we're going through this fucking table. It's like we're going through this table, bro.
Swerve was insane over with that crowd.
Oh man, so good.
Swerve's out. Yeah.
He was super over with that. He was super over on Collision when he squared up with Punk. Like, crowd was going fucking crazy for that shit. Like, I'm telling you, bro, Swerve is another one. He needs to get into these big title feuds, bro. It's time. Like, it's time, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, Tony, what are you waiting for, bro? Get the fucking title off of Orange Cassidy. There's one dude that does not need a belt. It's fucking Orange Cassidy. Like, get that fucking belt off of him and let's start spreading the love, bro.
Swerve, Swerve.
No, yeah.
I don't know. It randomly gave me trick. What trick?
Yay, bro. That's my new favorite wrestler, bro. I'm telling you. I've been all day.
I hope
you sent that video in the chat, right? The video of him doing the. Yeah, so when I saw that, I was like, oh, no. I had to go back and start watching other shit. And that's like my new favorite dude, bro. Trick Williams is the shit.
I hope that carries over when he gets in the roster. But anyway, like that,
oh my god.
Swerve's just insanely over. He would have won this match, but I get it. But starting out to sick mother on the coffin onto the
bro. There was no. Like, that shit actually looked like a real coffin. And by that, I mean, like, it wasn't worked. It wasn't gimmicked in any way. Like, it's an actual fucking coffin. And he landed on that shit with his back. And it didn't move, bro. It did not move a centimeter. So he took all that shit right on his back. That's crazy, bro. That shit's crazy.
But much say on that just hard. Next,
no edge. I know some people were expecting to see Adam Copeland, but that did not happen.
You know what's weird with wrestling? Well, there's a lot. Edge himself literally okay. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I have a contract till the end of it. And talk,
right?
And people's gonna be there. But anyway, next, dude, I love this next match. Chris Jericho Will Ospreay. Very cool entrances. I thought they did the Jared Judas really good. You know, on the frame. I thought that was a really cool moment for him, and very cool moment for Bobby, obviously being there. It's a great match, man. And I think what I really liked about it was Jericho is one of my favorites and one of my favorites right now. See them going at it, I thought it was really cool. And to be honest, dude, Jericho looked great in this match.
Yeah.
You know, he looked as Jericho on great matches, but right in physical shape, sometimes he's just like that happens. I don't get mad at people that can't get mad at Chris Jericho for the bad match now.
It's in his 50s, bro.
Yeah, but he looks great.
Something.
He looks great.
Yeah. And you would argue that he's probably in some of the best shape that he's ever been in. Yeah. I mean, he's probably like, if not the best, because he's been in, he's always been in a guy who's been in shape. But we all know when he started with AEW, he had the little gut thing, but then he just all of a sudden showed up with fucking an 8-pack abs, and like he's maintained himself. He's just like in tremendous shape. So, dude, you can't take anything away from the guy.
Yeah, but like a lot.
No, this match was fucking great. I think this match was fucking great. There were some people out there who were like, I don't think the match was as good as I thought it was gonna. Shut up. This fucking match was great. I don't know what you were expecting, but here's the thing with this. For me, this match was like, and I'm thinking in terms of like Tony trying to lure this person to join his company, because it's like, look, we brought you out and you're home. You fucking had a great match with Jericho and you won with no bullshit. Like, he beat Chris Jericho. Like, he beat him. There was no funny shit. There was no interference. There was none of that shit. Like, Jericho hit him with everything he had, and Ospreay was better than him, and he beat him. And that was a clean beat him. Just that's it. So this is one of those things where like it shows you how important, if you already don't know, this shows you how important and how good Ospreay is. Like, he is a cut above most other wrestlers in this like business period. And this was one of those matches that shows you that shit. Like, yo, this is Will Ospreay. We've been talking about Will Ospreay on this fucking show for years. Okay. So it's nice to see that he's getting like this big love and he's getting these big matches done. So I look forward to the day where he is in AEW full time, if that does happen, or if he goes anywhere else, either, whatever. As long as he gets that big stage to show his skill set, I'll be happy.
Definitely getting their checkbooks out, because in MJF, I think both. I think the in MJF, he's not entertaining your contract that doesn't have 7 years.
Wow.
And then I know Ospreay makes, but I imagine he's doing that long.
Yeah. But he's loyal to that promotion too, though. That's the thing. He's like loyal to them.
I would not be surprised if he's doing that.
It wouldn't shock me, but I think at this point in his career, I think he's ready to like branch out, because he's pretty much done. Like, I mean, obviously he could become the IWGP full-time champion and have a long ass run. But I think he kind of, and again, I don't want to speak for this person, but I just kind of think at this point in his career, he wants to see what else is out there. Like, I think he wants to see that. You know what I mean? So
does he like live in, like, does he like, you know, when aliens and like them, like, they lived in America or traveling a lot to Japan? It might sound weird, but where does Will Ospreay reside?
I'm not sure.
And travel, he just lives. He lives somewhere in America. Shit about him, really, like that, which is a good thing. That means we don't know privately.
Yeah, I really don't know. I know when I see videos, sometimes he posts videos and shit. I think he's in England when he records these videos, but I really don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, match with this spot, but man deserves.
Oh yeah.
And just moving on to an event. MJF and Adam Cole, baby. The fucking main event. I would say my one take, as earlier, and Lou, what you told me, I'm not like hating on. I was the world favorite. I feel like I see his predicament, but it's still big They good. Knew when people right when I sometimes right when that draw, everyone was pissed on, and I was like, oh, okay, you really think like I knew this 1-3 they were doing. I knew go back to the Dynamite Ocean, whatever pay-per-view it was. But yeah, I love the man called his own mom bitch.
Crazy.
And we'll see what's next.
Yeah, this fucking match. So I thought for sure we were going to get a title change, number one. And I thought for sure we were going to get Adam Cole heel turn on this show. So that was how I was booking it in my brain. And it's, when you get to this, first of all, the roll up finish, when they did the roll up, I was like, I really hope, they had me for a second there. I was like, I really hope that they don't fucking end it like this. But then when Adam Cole said 5 more minutes, I was like, okay, there's something, they're building something here. They're building something up for the end of the match. So, but the match itself was great. I very much enjoyed the match itself. Adam Cole has never looked better. MJF is dude. That guy he is a phenomenal wrestler, man. He really understands, and it's not even so much the physical. It's like the mental chess that he plays and the callbacks and the things that he remembers. If you look at all his matches, like he always has that thing that he's played up for weeks that he's gonna do in the match, and then he like delivers like the move or whatever. He did it on the pre-show with the fucking kangaroo kick bullshit, and then they built up the double clothesline. They did that. Like he always has his ring psychology is like unmatched. And again, I love the way it ended, where they basically just celebrated together. Like because it's so unexpected, because you're so used to like one guy's gonna turn on the other, this guy's gonna fuck this guy over, and people cutting each other's throats, and it's like you at the beginning, I kept expecting, not the beginning of the match, but the beginning of this whole thing, I always thought MJF was just fucking bullshitting. Like he was just bullshitting. He's not really friends with Adam Cole. He's using Adam Cole to get him to soften up so that he can beat him. And now it's like, bro, MJF really fucking, like, this has really become his best friend. Like he really has never had a real friend, and he loves this guy like a brother, and he doesn't want to fuck him over, like for real. So that's like how they've built this thing. So it's awesome to see that they're just going to continue it, because I don't think anybody wants it to end yet. I don't think anybody was ready for this to end yet. So yeah, like you said, we're going to see where it goes now. Because now they're the Ring of Honor champions. So I don't know if that means they're going to be showing up on Ring of Honor. I doubt it. They're probably just going to defend the titles on Dynamite, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. We shall see. I honestly think I really think the Kingdom is at some point, like in the next couple of weeks, are going to challenge for those titles, and Roddy Strong is going to end up costing Adam Cole and MJF those title belts. They're not going to have those belts long at all. At all. They'll probably go right to the Kingdom, and the Kingdom will take them shits right back to Ring of Honor.
Great show. Props in the props. I'm going quick rant. Ever jump in, please.
And I just saw something new while you were talking about that match. I just saw something new pop up.
So prior to everyone, this is we've heard, right? So as we incident, fight, whatever, there's a story where Punk did and Jack is hurt. Then there's side of like bumping and talking and regardless, he said, she said something. Then we heard that Punk said he was done, which that could easily just be out in the moment. Both are now suspended. All out this week in Chicago. W this week's in Chicago. Dynamite ran. CM Punk, we're back to CM Punk, I guess, having some travel problems. Was it green and apparently AEW travel coordinator, he about Punk and like shots at Punk. So people think there's some relation there. We do know it's always going to be he said she just last year said no who's not going to I need to fight. Both are suspended.
I learned that I'm sick of all this shit, number one. But it seems like while you were talking here, one of these people that I follow retweeted a Brian Alvarez. Well, it wasn't a tweet. It was what Brian Alvarez said on Observer Live half an hour ago. So he's saying that multiple sources are saying that Miro and CM Punk nearly had an incident immediately after the Jack Perry fight, which explains Miro's tweets the past few days, including the nice UK taxi jab that he tweeted. Now, let's think about the timeline of all this. So you're telling me that in the time where Samoa Joe came out, did his entrance, and CM Punk was standing backstage, he had a now this is what they're saying. He had a confrontation with Jack Perry right there in Gorilla. Something physical happened. He put Jack Perry in a chokehold. And then whatever, they got separated, however they were separated, I don't know what the fuck happened. And then immediately after that, he almost gets into a confrontation with Miro. All this is happening in the time Samoa Joe's walking to the ring. Well, that's a lot of shit to be happening at one time.
Probably happened 10 times.
This is ridiculous, bro. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of all of it. Like,
this is one especially because this is take away from the show. Now, talking about the death, Adam Cole, man. No one's talking about young. No one's even talking about surrounding the in our hometown. Everyone's about this. It's anxious. I gave Tony his flowers earlier. Man, did that love seeing him clamoring back, but take out those losses.
It's like
it's just got too much. This is what I would think as like the older man. Jericho is he's too like their title, whatever you want to call it. Punk should be the one breaking up in the things. The Undertaker was, and everyone knows he was the locker room leader. He was not.
Who the fuck wanted to fight the Undertaker?
Yes, when he was in his prime. But, I don't know, man. This is the leadership of the performers. And I remember we said this exact same thing. It was me, you, and we were talking about the Brawl album. I'll have man. Like this one now. And I would that's the be too much of a fan. And to be honest, like this isn't a show. It's like a very dude and not, but when you need to be you know what, right? Tony needs again like an. I think he's step back. I think he can hold the ball. He needs to step back and putting himself bad prediction.
But that's the thing. He has. Look who he fucking has back there. You got Arn Anderson. You got Dean Malenko. You got Jerry Lynn. You got Stokely Hathaway. You have Sting back there. You have Jeff Jarrett back there. Like, bro, why is this shit happening? Like, why the fuck? And of course, I get it. Wrestling is just like high school. There's gonna be people who don't like each other. There's gonna be cliques. There's gonna be certain people who stick together and talk shit about other people and yada yada yada. But bro, at the end of the day, you're having this big fucking the biggest show in wrestling history, right? Why are these things happening right before matches? Like right before someone's going out to perform? Why is this shit happening? Why is Punk throwing people off of Collision? Supposedly, allegedly, you know? Why is he fucking trying to big shot anybody? Like, bro, shut the fuck up and do your job. You're there to generate revenue and make money, bro. It's not the CM Punk show. Like it's AEW Collision, AEW Dynamite, AEW All In, All Out. Like it's a group effort. You know what I mean? So you're not headlining the fucking show. You're not even technically the real champion. So, like, and again, I love CM Punk. We just talked about what a great match he had. I want to see him involved in feuds. I want to see him having more crazy matches. I want to see another dog collar match. I want to see him involved in these feuds. I want to see him wrestle Kenny Omega and these people. But it's like, bro, when I hear all this extra shit, I'm just like, bro, can y'all just separate? Can y'all just agree on a buyout or something and just fucking go away and retire? Because this shit's like tiring, bro. Like, I don't want to have to fucking go on Twitter after a pay-per-view because I want to talk about how cool the show was. And everyone's talking about some confrontation supposedly that happened. Like, what the fuck? Like, again? We got to do this again? Like, this is ridiculous, man. It's really fucking ridiculous. And it's childish. Like, they got to get that figured out. Excuse me.
I just saw another report. Where is it?
And that's another thing. These fucking reports don't stop. They just keep coming.
Walks back. He had a problem with him. Now, this is the story that Brian responded. The physicality wasn't, and they got fell on. Then the because the ring. Right. Witnessing this front of,
like he was right there,
but he's got to like And that's not saying, oh, let him go so he can go to WWE. No. I don't think he was.
Well, I think they 100%. I think they 100% would.
Triple H would take that.
Yep. Because
it's a fucked up.
Because number one, it's just gonna be like, haha, look what we did. We have CM Punk back. And number two is that they don't play that shit over there. They do not play that shit. They've got talent relations. People might be getting into disagreements and shit, but they're not fucking fighting right before big gigantic pay-per-views. You're not hearing about this shit happening at WrestleMania. People getting into a fucking argument in Gorilla and monitors falling on top of Triple H and shit. You think that's gonna happen with Triple H there? You think Triple H is gonna sit there and go? You think Triple H is gonna sit there fucking bumbling monitors and shit? I could imagine Tony Khan back there. Oh my God, the monitors are falling on me. Like, you think Triple H is gonna be back there on some shit like that? And hell, fucking no, he's gonna get up and use that fucking loud ass voice and be like, "Hey, what the fuck's going on?" He's gonna get in somebody's ass. So, yeah, I think he would go back to WWE for sure.
Vince McMahon's been in arguments with her before.
Asshole.
I'll never forget.
Call him an asshole.
So, I'll go off topic for one because obviously we read old WrestleManias or just big shows. And then yeah, that was really having. I never showed it in the 24 because I remember the report came out about it. Showed it.
Yeah. Just fucking threw it right at him. Nah. Well, yeah. I just don't think you're not going to have those problems there, bro. WWE is a well-oiled machine. He's going to bring Punk in. He's going to be like, listen, this is what we're going to do for you. This is what shit's going to look like in the next 6 months. Then this is what we're going to do. And we'll head into Mania. And we'll have you go against Seth. And fucking, we'll have you get a title run. You run with the title for a little bit. Blah, 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 blah. Like, they'll have a thing for him set up. And he'll go on the full CM Punk tour. And he'll do a fucking 365, CM Punk 365. And he'll do a fucking
Summer of Punk.
Another Summer of Punk. And he'll do another documentary. And all that ego shit. That's the type of shit that I would imagine he wants to do. So I think he'd 100% go back. 100%.
He would at this point. It's a
and then again, it's a different place. It's a different place than what he left. When he left, Vince was kind of running shit crazy, and people were getting MRSA and fucking, this guy almost died. Dean Ambrose had the same fucking type of sickness or whatever. So, shit was running a little crazier than now. They're under the Endeavor umbrella. Shit's different now. So,
yeah. They keep saying,
I think he just is a fucking CM Punk mark. Like, he just wants CM Punk in All Elite Wrestling, however that may be. I just think that's what he wants. And,
I'm telling you,
whether...
Because we all know. Now, in some nation, you have to sound like, fuck to WWE.
I think that was one of the rumors. He said something about, I don't even want to be here anymore. He's one of the things I read was saying somebody heard him say that. So I don't know, bro.
Well, actually, last year, what name of it is, but I think it was and
yeah, I bet they are.
You
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think Vince really is gonna have. I don't really think Vince is gonna really have anything to do with this. I think it's the Triple H thing. I think Triple H would be the one who spearheads this thing.
This is conversation. It's no way. Fuck him. No. And it's good for business. What's best for
But that's the thing with Vince. Like, he said he would never work with Hogan again. He said he'd never work with the Warrior again. And he brought in Sting. Like, he understands there's money to be made. And that's the big difference. They know at the end of the day, this is going to bring a lot of eyes. This is going to bring money in. And it's going to hurt the competition. So I don't see why, if Phil's available and he is even like curious at all about fucking going back to WWE, I think they would 100%. As long as the money's right, and he's not asking for anything outrageous like fucking ice cream bars and his face on the cups and all that shit like that fucking one promo, then I think he'll be back. And I would fucking pop if at the Royal Rumble you hear 3, 2, 1 and you hear the bro, I'll fucking lose my shit. And the crowd would lose their shit. I think I saw something too at a Survivor Series or something is in Chicago. One of these pay-per-views is in Chicago. One of these, one of these pay-per-views is in Chicago. And it was like somebody posted that with like the eye open emoji eyes, like, oh shit, what? So who knows, man? Who knows?
Yeah, I hope in a perfect world they can hear this and everything. Like I truly do. Everything like that. I think he'd be a great asset, and I think he can overtown the role. That might be, but kind of what. I hope it works. Point. I have an answer.
Yeah, it's hard because in my mind, and you're of the same opinion. We're like, yo, cut ties with this dude, get him the fuck out of here, because you're only hurting the morale of your other people in your company. You can't sacrifice everyone in your company to appease this other guy. Because I thought Miro was a fucking CM Punk guy. That's why he's on Collision. That's what I thought. Yeah. That's why he's not on fucking Dynamite. And apparently he's over here fucking beefing with CM Punk. So I don't know what to tell you. And then where the fuck is Andrade? Andrade was back and then he's disappeared for the last 3 weeks. No one knows where the fuck he is. So like, I don't know what's going on. I thought all these people who were working on these shows were CM Punk's people. And come to find out, he's throwing people off the show and he's getting into fights with people who are supposedly his people. So, dude, I don't know. I really don't know. Tony Khan has to take the bull by the horns here, and he has to get this shit figured out. You can't just sit here anymore and fucking smile and say no comment or whatever. Whoa. Oh, yeah, you got to fucking, you got to do something. You just have to.
Also, so again, if he players, so they want to.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's real great.
With Nick Kessler, reason being, he's but he's Punk kind of listens to.
So Nick Jackson posted a whole bunch of stories here. Okay. And he basically put over everybody on the pay-per-view. Like he put over Best Friends, Sting, Sheeta, all in different stories. He posted like 9 stories. So he posted a story about Best Friends. He wrote a bunch of shit. He posted something about Sting. Posted something about Sheeta, MJF, Adam Cole, Darby, Orange Cassidy, Eddie Kingston, FTR. He even posted something about Cody. But nothing in here about CM Punk. So
well, yeah, we could have.
Not a damn thing. So again, I don't know what this means, bro. Damn. Yeah, I don't know what this means, bro. I don't know.
WWE. Oh yeah, you're the one.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta tag you.
One.
Well, they had one and they pulled it.
They sold out.
Yeah, it was up there and then they pulled it. I'm gonna tag you right now in a picture that I just came across on Twitter. So there you go.
Right.
Not anything to do with the subject we're talking about, but this calls for attention.
That's insane.
Yeah, but that, I mean, it was cool, but those belts look fucking hideous. Those belts are hideous.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, that picture will definitely make you lose your train of thought.
Sure. But
yeah. That's crazy, bro.
So I went to a game next month.
Nice.
Belts there. Well, actually, I don't know if the belts out in time, but they. I don't know. The candidate said, "Yes, the easy thing to do is." But at the same time, it's like you want it to work out from there, but he's making it easy on himself either.
Right. That's the thing. I don't know, bro. I'm so over all this like kiddie high school bullshit with these grown ass people.
The thing, like the old thing was, Punk didn't think you should. Like,
so I guess they were gonna have. Yeah, they were gonna have some. Jungle Boy was gonna have some match. And they were going to do a spot with glass, and it was real glass. So Punk said, no, we don't do that shit here. Like that's what supposedly he said. So I don't know if that means that he went back to Tony Khan and was like, yo, he can't be doing that shit, whatever. And they pulled the spot. I don't know what happened, but supposedly that was the thing. He said, he told Jack Perry, no, we don't use real glass here. And then that's why on the show, he was like, you see this is real glass, cry me a river, kind of like stirring the pot. So again, why is CM Punk worried about what other fucking people are doing in their matches? Like, worry about your match, bro. Why are you worried about what the fuck Jungle Boy is?
That's him.
Yeah, but be a leader by encouraging your talent and fucking not being a dick. You know what I mean? I'm like, enough.
That this is taken away.
Exactly. That's the main thing too. Same thing happened last time, man. That fucking great pay-per-view we got. And then all anyone was talking about was the fucking scrum.
Yeah. Two times in a row. Which speaks, they take way too long to start.
Oh, this one was ridiculous. This one was ridiculous. Yeah, I think it was 46 minutes or something that it finally started. And then when it started, Eddie Kingston was standing there like walking away. And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Did I just miss? Like, did I miss something? So I like went back a little bit because I thought, I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Look into it. family Twitter, but I had this thing. So
Yeah, I think he was.
dude.
I think he was talking to. I think he was talking to the media, but like off camera. And then they started the press conference, and he was like, "All right, I'm out," and he just walked off. And he got a hug from Tony, and that was the start of the scrum.
Tony's just got they just need something there.
He got to go back to management training or something, bro. He got to refresh his training because
you can being a high. This also his name ran on this too, though.
Yeah, bro, this guy's the boss. So stupid.
So, but I think. Do you have anything else?
No, not really. I know. Yeah, no, I don't have anything else. I think we got it all out. No pun intended.
Beat shit like that. It's on purpose. Yeah. Overall, weekend wrestling. Another weekend wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Some of them get payback. Game. That's just like Damian cash. Let's see if Becky and LA Knight. It's probably going over, but that should be good. Cody Rhodes is on dollar effect, so he got cool with Grayson. I don't know what's gonna. Who's coming? I'm assuming from this. Whatever.
How the fuck you go from feuding with Brock Lesnar to feuding with Grayson Waller? How the fuck do you do that? You go from beefing with Brock Lesnar to Grayson Waller.
Did you happen to watch his documentary yet?
Nah, I still haven't watched, bro. I'm so behind on everything. I still have to watch The Nun. Yeah, so Nick, I've discovered that Nick loves horror movies as much as I do. And I told him that I'm not. So I've watched the first Conjuring, the second Conjuring, and I think the third one. But I think that's it. So I haven't watched Annabelle or The Nun or any of this other auxiliary shit that they have going on. So Nick sent me the breakdown of how to watch these. So I'm actually very excited to watch The Nun. I'm probably going to watch it. Well, we'll see. I was hoping this weekend, but I might have plans this weekend. So we're going to have to see. But I got to squeeze some time in there to get these done because I do want to watch it. Yeah, it's coming. It is coming.
It's coming.
Cool.
And again, so something follow us on Twitter. Well, up at wrestling and on Instagram at wrestling. Turn out from last week's episode.
Oh man, you guys killed it last week.
And share, subscribe. Please just a lot. And that's gonna do.
Yeah, man. Lou from the BX, host of the Everything Podcast, co-host of Wrestling is Trash. You can find me on the Everything Podcast Instagram page. From there, you go to the bio, click the link, and from that link, you will be able to hit all of my content. We love and adore you guys so much. Thank you so much for last week's video. You pushed the views on that video is like, I think the highest we've gotten so far. So
I think
yeah, I think it's the highest one so far. So you guys have killed it with that. Thank you so much for the views. Please, whoever watches this, if you have any comments or concerns, drop them in those YouTube comments, man. Press share the video on Twitter, on X, whatever social media platform you use, and just kind of spread the word of the trash, because we love doing this for you guys and we have fun doing it. And it's really cool to see the response to the video. So we thank you very much for that. And with that being said, we are going to log off. So, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, enjoy wrestling. Peace, love, and happiness to you all.